Hold on.
Let us not focus.
That means 99% of our pastors are misinterpreting
Let
it.
us not focus on the wrong examples. There are people who are investing
who are the
in
right
education.
examples?
People who are investing in healthcare.
Who are the people investing in healthcare?
People doing outreach, going to prisons. There are religious institutions that go there, pay for bail, and get people out.
Hold on. How much do they spend in a year on outreach?
That's
your Daddy Gio's private jet, that Gulfstream, costs $60 million. Do they spend $60 million a year on outreach?
So you have
maintaining a $60 million jet a year costs you about $5 to $6 million.
So are you
possibly as much as $10 million by the time you have the crew, everything. Are they spending $10 million a year on prison outreach?
Are you saying religious leaders should be poor so they
can? That's what I want to ask.
Like,
do you have a problem with the luxurious cars and things?
I love luxury cars and luxury watches.
Yeah.
That's why I have a job. They don't have any job. They sell God.
Okay, Daddy Freeze. So what job does Toby have? He's your best friend. Tell us, what job does he has apart from manipulating young people to dump all of their income, their savings, and to borrow to give to his mission? What job does he have? He has fleet of luxury cars, watches. In fact, in one of the videos, you said that he bought a 300 million naira watch 2 days after you guys debated about it. What business does he have? Or have you not heard stories of how he siphoned money from people here in London using or fronting certain investment schemes, and by the time they put their money, after a while, it packed up? So what job does Toby have? The only reason Toby does not have a private jet is because he's restricted to the UK as an overstayer. As someone who technically is illegal in this land, he overstayed his visiting visa, right? If he could travel wherever he wanted to, he would have gotten a private jet. So Daddy Freeze, what job does he have? What's his job? Tell us. My issue with you is your hypocrisy. I've never seen you address all of the controversies, allegations, even the ones with proof surrounding Toby. But if it's Nigerian pastors, your mouth is very sharp. You'll be on podcast bashing Nigerian pastors, but you have a pastor as your best friend who has destroyed lives of young people in this country. Please, I don't want to hear you talk about pastors again. You lack the moral integrity to say anything when you are dining with one that has destroyed the lives of a lot of young people, put them into debt and alienated them from their family members and loved ones in the name of nation family.
Hi. You know, I realize you guys actually like vanity. You love it. You press those views like, okay, so I'm angry now. It's Fendi week. Yeah? It's going to be Fendi. Offending people with Fendi. Come on.
Let us not forget.
See, is Buchi calling Daddy Freeze hypocrite that's making me to laugh. See, this video, when someone sent me this video, I laughed. And then what I want to say in there, somebody was like, what do you want to say? I said, no, I'm going to do a video about it. He said, though, I have this Daddy Freeze making his own point, and then Buchi calling him a hypocrite because he's not calling out his friend Pastor Toby out. You know, he's asking him, what do Pastor Toby do? The thing is that I think I have a question. Maybe I think I will do a video for Daddy Freeze, because though sometimes some things Daddy Freeze do say, you know, it's okay. But what I want him to do, and some people that have pages, you know, some people have like a platform. All they do is to talk about the pastors, understand? So if you have that kind of platform, make sure, especially if you're a Christian, like Daddy Freeze now, he has his own ministry. But I don't really know what his ministry is all about. Do you understand? Because if you're saying pastors are doing this, what are they supposed to be doing? Like, you tell people, okay, they don't do this, you do this. Because one thing we have to understand as human beings, that human beings must worship something. We must worship the way we are created to worship. Let me put it that way, not something, because God is not something. We are created to worship. So if you're not worshiping God, you must be worshiping something else. You must worship maybe your clothes. Maybe you worship clothes. Maybe you worship money. Some people worship idol. Some people worship God. Some people worship. So you must worship. So if Daddy Freeze is telling a lot of people, don't do this, what are they supposed to do? Like now, you tell them not to pay tithe. You give them why they should not pay tithe. Then you tell them not to go to church. So where are they supposed to go? Because I see some of the arguments, they do make. It's not like when you're telling people don't do this, give them alternative, so that it's not like you're taking people away from church and you're not putting them where you think is the right place to put them. Because I didn't really, maybe I will later go check the argument, like, because the only thing that the faith is always like, I don't know what the pastors did to him, but I know that he's okay with some pastors. So, but my own is that let him use his own page to tell people, okay, you don't go to this, don't do this, but do this. I have a lot of people, like, I think there's another person on Instagram, she does it, she says she's a born-again Christian. She's posting what the pastors are doing, the wrong thing, but you're not telling people, okay, this is the right thing. What I'm saying that so that you guys don't really end up taking people away from church, and then those people don't have anywhere they belong. You don't have anywhere they belong. Because most people now, they say we should do this one. Pastors are doing this, pastors are doing this. We still have pastors that are genuine pastors. You know that a lot of people would decide not to go to a genuine church. Most of the pastors started well, but because of the way people want to say things, because people want to hear prosperity, people just want to hear good in Christianity. So those ones that are teaching those are where people are going. It's not that there are some churches that still preach salvation. There are some churches that are real men of God. So when you're taking people out from here, make sure you're, putting them somewhere else. Make sure you're putting them somewhere else. I don't have a problem, pastor driving private jet. I don't have a problem, all those kind of a thing. My own is, let everything you're doing be to God's glory. Make sure you're not stealing from Peter to pay Paul. Make sure you're balancing. You're teaching people, let me put it, you're teaching people the gospel. Make sure you're not extorting money from people. Make sure you're giving to the needy in your church. So all those kind of, so if you have money, if a pastor have money to buy anything they want to buy, they can do that. But make sure you're not manipulating people. Make sure you're not extorting from people. Make sure you're not making people to worship you as a pastor instead of worshiping God. Make sure that the Jesus Christ is being preached. Make sure that all glory belongs to God Almighty. Because the thing is that when we live what we're supposed to do, you see, like when we have different disciples, we have, we have disciples at 12. Have 12 disciples, right? And when Judas left, they still replaced him. So the way St. Paul was preaching, Peter was preaching, John was preaching, all the things they are preaching, the main thing they were preaching is Jesus Christ. So what I expect all pastors to preach is Jesus Christ. Bible, let Jesus Christ be the role model to each and every one that go to church, that is a Christian. Because most times, don't tell people live here and you're not showing them where to go. I said maybe one day I'll go to that disgraced church. I don't even know how he does it. I will go to his church. I want to know his own teaching. I want to know like what he's teaching people.